So, no further ado, let's get straight on with this. So, as I say, once we go on from the introductory slide into their presentations, they don't get to play with the machine, it's just the 15 slides. So I'll welcome Gary to the stage, please.
So I'm the sacrificial lamb here, am I? I did volunteer to do this, and that was ignorance is bliss. I had no idea what this was like, and I saw the videos on YouTube and thought, oh, I'm bricking it now, by the way. I'm Gary Morin. I'm Technical Director of Kinetics, who specialise on CAD and GIS integration. We do geotechnical stuff. And my question here is really, don't forget about your CAD users. Now, let's have a guess here. Who's one of the biggest users of spatial data in local government? Can you guess? Should be quite an easy answer here. Come with some feedback, please. Biggest users? Biggest users? CAD users. Now, maybe hard for you to understand this, but there's an awful lot of CAD users out there. There's a lot of GIS users, but there's probably more CAD users than there are. I've been happy here. I said to you 1-to-1. There's probably, you can all web GIS, more CAD users than there are GIS users out there. Where are all these GIS users? Sorry, CAD users. Highways, planning, they're all over the place. Environmental services, building controls, property, where else are they? Even in education. And not all, but the majority of those all use some form of spatial data. They are their own worst enemies when it comes to spatial data. They will tell you they don't use spatial data. No, I don't do any GIS thing like that. You walk in there and our office will be surrounded by maps, site plans, information. They'll be there measuring who's the nearest, which is the best way to route something in. No, we don't do GIS, don't do spatial data here. They use it all the while. If they're lucky enough to get some spatial data, they keep on to it for years. The amount of CAD users I've seen working with landline data, 10, 12-year-old data, they can't get hold of it, or they're too lazy to look for it. Primarily, they can't get hold of it. So they also just work with a very limited picture of whatever pieces of data they're allowed to give. So I go to GIS managers and say to them, well, what do you do about giving CAD users access? And these are actually real replies. I'm the GIS manager, that is their answer. Or we have a web GIS. How do CAD users get hold of data? We have a web GIS. Or my favourite, we make CAD users use the GIS system and convert them to that instead. So CAD users are left to defend for themselves. They have to get hold of their own data, work out how to use another system they've been told to use, or cut and paste stuff in. For instance, I was with them the other day, was amazed to find out in master map data, there's actually man-made land as an attribute in there. Never seen it before. Quite important for them. So it's, they would like to have a full range of spatial data. They would like to have up-to-date data if possible, and also like to see some of the attributes and metadata, although they won't be able to tell you what metadata means, by the way. But what's the consequence if they can't get hold of this data? Primarily bad design. These are the CAD guys are the guys who design infrastructure. They're the guys who design where roads, where best to place things, do things, etc. It's pretty important they have up-to-date data to work with. Yeah? If worst case scenario, Landmark love this because they go out and buy the same data time and time again. But it doesn't actually have to be that way. As GIS managers, you can be in charge of the whole world and all the data by giving them access. You don't need to convert data. They don't have to be a burden on you. They can actually work with you and have full access to data. By giving them direct access, i.e. going through, on the slide, going through and giving them direct access to your data store, CAD users, they're the guys who design the blooming stuff in the first place. Not only that, you can actually get them, and this is amazing, get them to actually update data and give you data, geo-reference back to you again.
We trust them.
Now,
charge them.
there's no excuses for it now. You can all do this. We do Autodesk stuff, so I'm talking about it from Autodesk point of view, but Bentley, Esri, Bentley Wells, they all do it, and if it all fails, you always go to Safe Computing and teach their stuff. But, or use their stuff, I should say. But what the end of this is, you've got to have the right tools to do the right job. So if a CAD guy needs to see spatial data, don't tell them to go and use the GIS system. Give them hold of that spatial data so they can use it actually correctly inside GAD. and primarily, have a think about what your policy is to CAD users. They are spatial users. How do you integrate this stuff? I'm Gary Morin, Technical Director. It's been a blast. If you need any more information, you can see all the Zoom pros and little utilities and stuff we do. Thank you very much.